BERSERK has 6 arcs, actually 5 arcs, but I'll be counting the Lost Children chapter, which is a part of the Convention arc, as an arc by itself, because it's a very long chapter. Each arc of these is very unique and different from the other, and in each arc of these, God's personality changes as a character development. So here are the arcs: the Black Swordsman, the Golden Age, the Lost Children, the Convention arc, the Millennium Falcon, and the Fantasia Arc. Well, shall we begin? The Golden Age, Fear and Comfort. This is divided into 2 parts. The first part. At the beginning of the Golden Age arc, Guts is born from a corpse, which made everyone thinks he is a bad omen. Guts is adopted by Shaisu and Gambino. 3 years later, his adoptive mother died from plague. And years later, his adoptive father lost his leg in the battlefield, which is 2 more reasons why everyone around Guts thought he is indeed a bad omen or a bad luck. Guts used to be a scared boy who always tries to protect himself with his sword, since he knew nothing but wielding his sword. From training with grown men to fighting in battlefields as a kid, he lived in danger his whole childhood, whether he is in the battlefield or in his own mercenary camp, since the men in the camp are trying to kill him in his sleep, believing he is a bad omen. Until one day, his own adoptive father, Gambino, tried to kill him. Then Guts accidentally killed his adoptive father while he was protecting himself, and he ran away from his mercenary camp, trying to survive. So in his childhood, Guts has always been afraid and always tried to survive. The second part. After Guts escaping and survival, he was picked by a mercenary group to make some living, until one day, he was seen by Griffith and was forced to join the band of the Hawk. When Guts joined the Hawks, for the first time, he has friends and real mates around him. He is shown to have happiness and comfort around the army of the Hawks. His personality is usually happy and comfortable, even though he always shows his rage in the battlefield because of his childhood. But overall, he is a happy man until the betrayal happened by the end of the arc, losing all his Hawk friends except for Recris and Casca, who lost her sanity as well, which drove Guts more into the path of hatred and vengeance. The Black Swordsman, Vengeance and Hatred. After leaving everything and everyone behind, going to the path of vengeance, Guts in the Black Swordsman arc is shown to be wearing black armor, wielding a huge sword known as the Dragon Slayer sword that was forged by blacksmith Gudo. Guts is also shown to have no emotion too brutal and cruel to anyone around him, especially to those who stand in his way, let alone against him. He is full of vengeance because of what have happened in the Golden Age arc, being betrayed by Griffith, all his friends that made him happy, which was the only thing he ever had, has been taken away by the apostles in the most brutal way, which is why he is hunting each one of these monsters and even torturing them the same way they tortured his friends. So he wants to avenge the Hawk members and to find and kill Griffith, who forced him to join the Hawks only to be betrayed by him. Although Guts is very vengeful and hateful in this arc, he still shows some soft spot for children because he himself had a terrible childhood. So he usually feels awful to treat children badly, even though he did some harsh actions towards some children in the story, such as when he killed the Count as an apostle, brutally in front of his daughter. But deep down in his heart, he always felt terrible, as it's shown in this panel after he left her alone. The Lost Children, Rage. In this arc, Guts in his most raging time ever in the whole story, and the most brutal and savage he has ever been. Even with that, he still shows some soft spot for children, such as Jill and other children within the village. He might be doing it in a harsh way, but he does that in order to save them. Guts usually feels sick to his guts when he fights against children, even if they are demonically possessed, and he has to kill them, to the point he's slowly losing his sanity. Puck also played an important role to hold Guts' sanity and rage. In any case, Guts in the Lost Children arc is a raging warrior that wants nothing but to hunt each and any monster, demon and apostle he ever sees. The Beast of Darkness. It was firstly formed in the Lost Children arc, to show how much rage Guts has within him, to show how much hatred he has within him, to show how much he fell into the path of vengeance, and to show how much of a monster he is slowly becoming, hunting each apostle he ever finds on his way, slaying them in the most brutal way possible as he is walking in the darkness wielding his sword. The Convention Redemption. The Convention arc could be a turning point of Guts. It is the moment when he returned to where he left everyone: Recruit, Gudu, Erika, and Casca. Guts has finally returned after 2 years from slaying apostles, demons, and monsters in order to have his revenge. Now he's reunited with his old friends he used to stay with, hoping to see Casca as well, only to find out she is nowhere to be seen, which made him frustrated. Casca is lost somewhere after Erika took her out of the cave that she used to stay at. Recruit, who was supposed to take care of Casca, has searched for her everywhere but couldn't find her anywhere. When Erika called out Guts for leaving them, including Casca for 2 long years without coming back, this is what made Guts realize his mistakes and made him rethink his actions. Including that, Gudu's speech played a huge factor. Gudu in his dying bed somehow has words of wisdom that makes Guts to hold back his rage and makes him realize his actions a little more, to hold back his hatred and vengeance in order not to lose his sanity, humanity, including himself. Gudu also called out Guts for leaving his Hawks members, Recruit, and especially Casca, who he's supposed to take care of, which made Guts going back to his senses instead of thinking only about slaying monsters, forgetting everyone else as an act of revenge. So after that, Guts thought about all the Hawks members, and he promised to never leave Casca ever again, since she is lost and nowhere to be seen, which is one of the reasons that made Guts to hold back his rage and focus on saving Casca again. That has helped Guts a lot to hold his brutalness and vengeance, and made him to find bigger reason to be a human by saving and protecting Casca. So in his journey to find Casca, Guts usually enjoys his battles as always. He also still rages but usually tries to hold himself back. Guts was able to find Casca and rescue her from Great God Apostle. However, Casca has been lost again and was kidnapped by Mozgas, which frustrated Guts a lot, but still, he held back his rage. By the end of the arc, Guts was able to defeat Mozgas and to find and save Casca. He held back his hatred, revenge, and rage, and to be more composed, gaining back his humanity, and has found a purpose to protect Casca, hoping to find a cure for her, and not only to look for revenge. The Millennium Falcon, Hope. The Millennium Falcon Arc is where Guts finds a group once again. At the very beginning of the arc, he was alone protecting Casca. He is shown to be struggling with the Beast of Darkness, trying to drive him back into his rage once again. But Guts always resists the Beast. But then he has found a new group. He has not been in a group for about 4 or 5 years in the timeline of the story. Whenever Guts is around a group, he is shown to be more calm and comfortable, just like when he was in the band of the Hawk. Except this time he doesn't show the happiness or charm he shows in the Golden Age arc, probably because he is more mature and also he is thinking to heal Casca since she lost her sanity. One part of the manga that proves my point: whenever Guts is alone, he goes back to his raging personality, just like the Black Swordsman and the Lost Children arcs. It is when he told his group to escape, as he fought the trolls alone, all by himself. He even mentions that having a group behind him always holds him back in his rage, because he has someone to protect and to worry about during slaying the trolls. Another thing that made Guts to find hope is when he got the Berserker armor, which made him strong to fight higher level apostles and entities, even though the Berserker armor is slowly killing him and taking away his humanity. And the biggest reason is when Skull Knight told him that Casca can be healed in the Elves Island, which has given Guts a huge hope and faith to continue his journey. So in short, this arc shows Guts to be more hopeful because of his new group around him that can help him. The Berserker armor that gives him a huge strength that made him possibly think he can defeat the God Hand, and the information about the healing of Casca. The Fantasia, reasonable and sorrowful. The Fantasia Arc is the lightest yet one of the most sorrowful arcs in Berserk. It will be divided into 2 parts. First part is the light side. This arc is somehow different than the other arcs, mostly because the atmosphere is lighter than the previous arcs. As the journey goes in the ocean, having creatures such as mermaids around, as Guts shown to fight different types of monsters which is not apostles, such as pirates and the sea god. Guts is shown to be very calm in this arc. He barely even rages. He is mostly a reasonable mature man who only wants to protect Casca. So Guts has succeeded defeating the sea god and goes to Elves Island, and he even healed Casca, which means he finally achieved his first goal of his journey, even though Casca is still traumatized and can't even look at Guts. She usually has her eclipse trauma, where she witnessed Guts surrounded by demons in horrifying acts. Guts still is happy at least to achieve his first goal, and now he is shown to be somehow bored just training by his sword as he used to be. Probably he is thinking about his second and main goal, to take down Griffith and the God Hand. Second part is sorrow. Sadly, the second part is after the passing of the original creator of Berserk, Kentaro Miura. Is known to be best friend Koji Mori, and Studio Gaga and Miura's team agreed to continue Berserk. So the Moonlight Child is possibly to be known Guts and Casca's demon child. It's revealed to be Griffith, since Griffith took over his body in the Convention arc. Guts is very shocked to know the truth and has charged into Griffith, trying to land a blow on him but has failed. Then Griffith has kidnapped Casca, so Guts is very disappointed in himself and his sword. After each chapter, Guts is shown to be very depressed and lost the desire of fighting. Then Guts gets captured by the Koshans and will be imprisoned in a chamber, which could lead to the lowest point of Guts' life so far. especially if he loses his current group. This could lead to either Guts uses his ability, if it really is, or to refuse to sacrifice and stand up again and finds a way to bounce back. Since Guts has always been proud to be a human and has always found those apostles to be a disgrace with no honor within them. So in conclusion, with each arc of Berserk shows a different personality of Guts depending on his situation. When he is around a group of friends, he is usually calm, happy and comfortable. But when he is alone, he is a raging fire that wants nothing but slaying whatever stands on his way, seeking vengeance and battles. Subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed the video. Make sure to share it, put a like, and leave your opinion below in the comments. Thanks for watching. Till next time.